Jill Payne is our in-house psychotherapist, a member of the American Psychotherapy Association. Met her here in Houston through Houston Baptist University when we needed her website repaired. And that's what we do. We started talking. Got her on. I said, "You're good." She's like, "Zany." I said, "You're good. You need to be on the show." And she joins us via Skype on Wednesdays. Hi, Jill Payne.
You just make me laugh. I like that word zany. I'm going to tell my husband I'm zany.
Because zany is like Lucille Ball. Like there's funny.
Right.
You know, like Joan Rivers was funny, but zany is like, woo, Lucille Ball. Okay.
I love it. I'm also going to tell my son.
All right, lots to cover today, and I'm glad you're with us.
Yes.
Do you want to start with last night's state dinner involving the president of France?
Right.
President.
I know. I love the way he talks. It's so sexy.
He's so Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, I love it.
All right. So anyway, and I don't know if you're listening to the early part of our show. I said something must be wrong in the hashtag corrupt media and the got us all left. CBS News said how beautiful Melania Trump looked last night. Now, she's been banned from the fashion magazines, by the celebrity, Us Weekly, People magazine. Michelle, the jet thief, Obama, 37 magazine covers. Melania has only been on, I think, Vogue Mexico. They even pushed out of the country. What's your take on that?
Well, my take is that beautiful, glamorous woman that's our first lady is extremely smart. So behind that beauty is a brain. And so I don't know if you probably do, that President Reagan had a very brilliant wife also. And she wasn't as glamorous, of course, as our first lady. Melania, she did the Gorbachev dinner. She did the setting up, that famous meeting where the two of them were set up in that den with the fireplace and the cushions. I got goosebumps just talking about it. It was all psychology, because when you're sitting on cushions, which Melania made sure there were white cushions, you feel very calm and you feel warm and cuddly.
Oh, you did?
So pardon?
I'll remember that next time we have a staff lunch.
Yes.
I'll bring out the pillows.
Yes. So if you have a rigid chair, you don't want to be rigid, so you put a cushion there. It's all psychological. So think about what she did. She had the pink cherry blossoms as they came in. So she was really into color. Not only did she first wear a red, white, and blue dress. I don't know if you noticed that. Did you notice that?
I thought it was, when I saw it was a white pantsuit with a big hat. She looked like very much Audrey Hepburn.
There were three outfits, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Please confirm it with me. I thought I had saw the first time they meet, she had a red, white, and blue dress on. And that signified, of course, I don't need to tell anybody, the United States of America. And then, of course, she had the white dress, which white, as we talked about before, she likes to wear white. She looks good in white. It signifies innocence, purity, and it signifies the big thing is a new beginning. Let's wipe the slate clean. Okay, let's wipe the slate clean and let's start writing a new beginning, which is very important. Her centerpiece was white. She had all those white flowers. But let's go back to the pink. So they're first coming in to the White House, to the dinner, and they're big vases of this pink. And pink signifies friendliness, and it also depends on your culture with the pink. But in our culture, it has a calming effect. You think of the heart, you think of friendliness. And so right away, it's a welcome. Then she wore gold on the last night. Did you see that beautiful?
The picture, it was a beautiful silver. Oh, I guess it was gold. I mean, it's hard to tell.
Okay. I thought it was gold.
Fantastic. Okay. That's what I think she was wearing Givenchy, and that's when CBS News broke the mold of their extremism and their God us all left hatred of her, and said, "How the anchor's like how beautiful." I couldn't hit the record button fast enough because we have all these. You've been up here. We have all these monitors, and I couldn't. And she goes, "How beautiful the first lady looked."
Right. She's so smart. She used color. I'm telling you, it was all color. Gold signifies success, achievement, prosperity, well-being, and of course we already know sophistication and elegance. So when she had gold plates, she had gold all over the place, and then she was wearing gold. So just right there, that's why they looked at her, and right away, it's like I'm wearing my glasses today. And so glasses signify that people are intelligent. I may not be intelligent, although when you see me, and you're wearing a watch. So people that wear watches, people just automatically think, oh, Sam's very punctual. He's on time. He really appreciates time for other people, and this is what we think unconsciously in our mind.
Interesting.
So,
Jill Payne, our in-house
yeah,
psychotherapist. We have to get to the
right.
break, so like in 30 seconds. But what does it say about the men and women who work in these disgusting celebrity mags or fashion mags, who have
Right.
so much hatred that they won't put Melania on the cover? The most beautiful and classy first lady ever. Laura Bush was once again lovely and very classy.
Sure.
And then, of course, we had the Obamas. But
Right.
Melania, what is it to say about women who look at this beautiful fashion model and go, nah, we're not
Right.
putting her on the cover? What is it inside in 15 seconds where they
15 seconds?
all right.
Okay, just real quick. She's got it all. So it's not a lot of people, and I believe Trump has it all too, and they're a good balance. She has this elegance and this calmness and this grace, and he's got this rough and tough way about him. And so they balance each other out, which is really wonderful. So when you want to put her on the cover, it just would be too much for people. It's just like in high school. When someone is so perfect, or appears, she's not perfect, appears to be so perfect, people unconsciously, that we don't like that. We as humans, we want to see some imperfections. So far I haven't found any on her.
Sure,
So.
you know what? Maybe she'll get a zit. But the fact that she's so perfect, and women do that to each
Right.
other. The fact that she's so
Right.
perfect, women don't like that. Liberal women, and the fact that
It's
she's
hard
married,
for people.
and she's married to Donald Trump makes it. They have such anger. Like I said, Michelle Obama, please, 37 magazine covers, really? You have an absolute knockout fashion model, first lady, and she hasn't seen any in a nice way. All right, let me take a break. Continue our conversation. We have an in-house psychotherapist because we need it. You can always watch our show, by the way, as we're America's first to do this way back. Go to Sam Malone Show on Facebook. Sam Malone Show, and you'll see it. Okay. So here's the deal. There was a horrible attack in Toronto, which we still don't know if it's terrorism. But they when they hide the name for so long, if they go, oh, his name is Joe Smith, there's a picture of a red-headed guy with freckles, they'll get that out in 2 seconds when it wasn't terrorism. When it's terrorism, they hide it for a while. Still uncertain about what happened. Talk about that, and you have an angle as a psychotherapist on an attack like that.
I have an angle. Well, first I wanted to, I don't know if you can see it, but it says that this big van plowed down these people. And I was talking to you before we were on, and we've both been to Toronto. Toronto, just to let people know, it's very much like New York, similar to New York. And when you go to certain intersections, these people are crossing this way and that way, and they're not letting you through. And it's very, I would say, very frustrating to drive there, just like it would be in New York. So that type of atmosphere right there increases people's anger. And they did a study that it was really funny. People that they didn't have anybody sign any consent forms, but what the study was, and this was a few years back, the Confederate means that they hired these people to do this. So they hired people to aggravate other drivers. And so what these people did was they would sit at a stoplight or stop sign, and they wouldn't move. And sometimes they would have a cell phone and they'd pretend that they were on the cell phone. And other times they would pretend they would just sit there. Okay. And then the other one is they would go real slow, and sometimes they would have the cell phone. Sometimes they would not have the cell phone. When they had the cell phone in their hand, people would get very irate with them compared to, when they were just sitting there being a bump on the log, they would just toot and it was no big deal. And they did this by facial expressions. And so that's what they found. And so what I'm saying to people out there is that I really believe, and I've said before, I'm doing this secondary analysis, that our environment is creating this anger. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was talking to a bunch of other people saying that people are talking, but they're not listening to anybody. They're just saying their point. It's just like when the Democrats are talking, and you had pointed that I won't mention names, was lying. It's that people are just believing their own truths, and there's something called truth bias where we as humans believe people. Okay. And so this is what's going on, and we need to work to really, I created that word empathy because we need to really be able to chit chat with empathy. And so the empathy is missing there. We're not really listening to people. It's all about us. Let me get that like. How many likes can I get? How many views can I get? I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be famous. And this is my clients. They all want to be YouTubers.
Right, they all want to be famous. No,
do you know what a YouTuber is? I didn't know. They had to tell me.
Well, just having a large following on YouTube.
Yes,
and you can monetize it. You just we set up accounts for clients to do that,
right.
And we help them. But and that's true, Jill Payne. People
trying to get out of the life.
The surveys of high school students. I remember bringing this up. They said, "Would you rather be rich or famous?" The majority now wants to be famous. Because fame and likes and all that is more important than, I guess, wealth to them. Because they, as you had mentioned before, when people like women, it's ridiculous how many women are walking around our office complex, going to lunch and looking at their phones, not looking where they're going. And I've sidestepped a couple because they're just coming right at me. Right. And you said, well, when they get likes, it's kind of like a piece of chocolate. The same part of the brain reacts. So they get a like on social media or they get a follower. And they're like, it's the same feeling as chocolate. Well, they're just eating mental chocolate, so to speak. And their world is getting smaller and smaller, and it's more dangerous. And they lose their ability to communicate with others. It's why I don't like to see parents give their small children phones to play with, because they're not learning how to take a no from mom and dad, or they're not learning to delay something like French fries or ice cream that they want, or a toy at the supermarket. So the cell phone technology, I think, is a leading cause of today's inability to express yourselves, both positively and negatively. Final words, Jill Payne, psychotherapist.
Well, I'm going to confirm that with you, that people are using less computers and more cell phone. So just because they can always have that with you. And so what I'm going to say to people out there, just increase your awareness of the people around you and how you are affecting them and how they are affecting you. Just be mindful. That's what I'd like to leave today.
Done deal. Our good friend, in-house psychotherapist Jill Payne, we met through our friends at HBU. It's always great to have you on. And have a blessed and fantastic day. I'll talk to you next Wednesday.